Hi, we're so happy to be here today. My name is Kathleen Sanger, and I'm the Development Officer at Home of the Sparrow. And I'm going to share this presentation with my colleague, Ali Colin, who is our bilingual program coordinator. And we're sort of working on this project together, and we thought that we would deliver our message together. So at Home of the Sparrow, our mission is to help single women and single mothers in Chester County avoid the trauma of homelessness. So we're not a shelter. What we have are two important things: cash and case management. So before a woman is evicted or is in a true housing crisis, what we're able to do is to work directly with a landlord, or it could be PICO, it could be a daycare center, a summer camp, whatever it is. We have cash that we're able to pay directly to the vendor or the landlord to take the woman out of the crisis situation, to lower the stress level for her and help her get back on her feet. And the work that the case managers do is incredible, and it can be up to 2 years in length. So, but today what we're talking about is what we received our seed and scale grant for, and it's rental assistance for women that live in Coatesville. And so what Ali's going to talk about, because she knows it much better than I do because she's working directly with our women, are the challenges that older women face and why we chose this group of women for this grant award.
Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Ali. So I'll share a little bit more about some of the challenges that we noticed that a lot of the women, senior women specifically in the Coatesville area, have been facing. Some of them include, we know, being over the age of 55, there's a lot of challenges with fixed incomes. There's no opportunity of increase of income, better job opportunities, or anything like that. So we have noticed that that has always become a challenge to find ways to support our women, to find a way to increase income, reduce expenses, or find a better job opportunity. Also, another thing that we notice, not that we want to put the blame on ERAP only, but I know that kind of put a little bit of a challenge. A lot of the times during the ERAP program era, that kind of led that incentive of landlords allowing arrears in rent, which led to the impact of women being behind on rent for a little bit. The funding ended and a lot of people were being evicted, and the most vulnerable ones that we noticed was here in the Coatesville area, and women over the age of 55. Also, women who are older tend to have some complex on navigating the system. A lot of the times it's that self-advocacy skills that they might need, that extra support, that self-confidence to get them on track for asking for help and things like that. Also, strict criteria for aid. We already know with anything that is related to financial assistance, we really notice that there is a specific fit in the box criteria for a lot of people to be eligible for specific aid. And that's where we see a lot of challenge in our women in the Coatesville area. Another impact or challenge, there's a lack of housing options for our women. There's no vouchers, there's no public housing opportunities. We know the wait list is more than 2+ years, so that does become a little bit of a challenge. So that's where we said, let's have a good idea and see what we can do to intervene and kind of fill that gap as much as we can. So all these challenges were definitely noticed by us having this amazing opportunity in the Coatesville area. We have a house called the Catherine Toomey House that is right on Lincoln Highway, right before the bridge where the diner is, near the high school. So this housing opportunities, we have 4 single apartment units where we have 4 women who are single, no kids, who can reside there for up to 2 years. We also have 1 apartment in the 3rd floor where we have 2-bedroom apartments that is a communal for 2 women to live in. And the goal for this program is that they can live there for up to 2 years while they work with a program coordinator to work on building up, finding a way to reduce expenses, eliminate any debt, connect with services that they might need, and eventually find a longer housing term solution for them. Now, we already knew COVID and everything else kind of became a challenge. So we kind of prolonged our time for our women to stay in the house for a little longer, which that kind of put that less opportunity for other women to join and be part of the program. So that kind of set us back a little bit. And we said, if we need to do something, we can definitely find a way to help. But there's so much we can do if we only have one house with apartment living. So let's go out in the scope practice and let's think creatively to still do that help and support while with the resources that we have available.
That's what we had in Coatesville. That's all we were able to offer. And so when the Seed and Scale grant opportunity came up, we really thought about, well, where can we address the gaps that Allie talked about in the Coatesville area for our older women? So what we did is our goal was to increase this capacity to serve older women. And as I said in the beginning, the goal is to help older women who are already in their apartments. They're not homeless. We don't have room for them at Catherine Toomey. So we thought, well, what can we do to help them achieve stability where they are living now? I also wanted to mention, I forgot, Allie and I started 6 years ago, like within 2 weeks of each other. So we've been together a long time. Much like Keith was saying, we had an idea of how we were going to use this money. And this is what we thought. We received a $15,000 grant, and this is what we were going to do. We were going to subsidize rents for women up to, just like we normally do, maybe like $650 a month for several months, even up to a year, whatever it took. Give them case management, help pay any utilities that they had fallen behind on. Did they need some Uber gift cards, any sort of personal care items, and the budget assistance that Allie provides is world class. Okay, so what we have been able to do is disperse $7,800 in rent subsidies. We've paid $1,000 in other assistance, such as that utility assistance. It's 12 unique women who we've worked with, and we did achieve our match last week. I have a check for you. So, like Keith said, it didn't go exactly as we had planned. So Allie's going to talk about some challenges that we've had in spending that money down as fast as we thought.
So some of the challenges, when we received the grant, we had that brilliant idea and we said, let's put it to try and see how everything goes. We knew that a lot of the times when we work with women who have been living life for the last 50 years, it becomes a challenge because they have already built a habit. They already know it. They already know how to do things on their own. So having someone who is considered an intrusive person come in their life and say, hey, let's do it this way, that doesn't work for them a lot of the time. And it's okay. It's empowering. It's great that we see that. But in a way, we kind of had that challenge to say, well, this is a little bit of a challenge, what you might be doing, so we want to encourage you to do this. So that did become a little bit of a challenge for us to kind of step in and be that extra support for them. Some other things was a lot of the women who came to us thought that maybe we were a homeless shelter. That's really not what we are. A lot of the times, they're not familiar with a lot of our services. So that really became a little bit of a challenge as well, just because we kind of had to step in to educate a lot of the community, to let them know what we do, how we manage, and things like that. And the other challenge that we also noticed is that when we offer that financial assistance, not a lot of the women were open to share a lot of their financial information. And it's not really primarily because they wanted to not give the information. It's more of, I've noticed, more of fear of judgment or fear of, if I say something, could that disqualify me? And overall, I think is that lack of that trust, that we're here to help you, we're here to support you, but I'm going to a stranger to ask for help, but I don't have that trust. So a lot of the times that's some of the challenges that we notice when we try to step in and do that brilliant idea with our program for this one.
Matri Johnson, who maybe some of you know, is our program coordinator, And I've been working very closely with her on our reports back to the Alliance. And Keith, you said it perfectly. What we found is that because we don't have a physical presence in Coatesville, we used to before COVID, and because a lot of people, especially older women, are not sure what we do. Are you a shelter? They don't trust us. They even though we have money to give, we have assistance, they're like, I don't know who you are. And so this is a great quote from Maitrey, is that what we need is to build partnerships with friends in Coatesville so that you can refer people to us because they trust you, especially like the YW. We're really trying to work with our partners here because if you refer the women, they're more likely to trust you and then to trust us. So we needed to make some adjustments, and what we've done is we've pivoted from this idea of what we normally do in our supportive housing program, which is subsidizing rents for 1 to 2 years, to helping with maybe a one-time eviction prevention. I don't know if we'll get to tell the story, but about a woman that we just helped the other week who needed entry money, to get into an apartment that was a better fit for her and her grandchildren who she adopted. And even though Allie is fabulous at providing ongoing, very educational, non-judgmental budget counseling, maybe that's not going to happen with this group. Maybe we're not going to build a long-term relationship with them. That's okay. We are okay with that. So those are the adjustments we made. And the way that we're addressing this is you can see that we're starting to work more closely with other folks who have a long-standing reputation in the Coatesville area. And the woman I was just talking about, we heard from her from Grand Family because she's a grandparent who had recently adopted 2 of her grandchildren. And what we're finding is, especially with Brandywine Active Aging, if they tell a woman to come see us, it's like the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. And next steps, continue to build relationships with all of you and folks that are not in the room. We've got to get the word out. Keith said the exact same thing. You got to keep trying. Who else can we work with? Where else could we leave a brochure? Where else can we be? And establish a physical presence in Coatesville. I know last time I was here, I think that we talked about maybe Allie even being in this building for a few hours a week. And we kind of let that fall by the wayside, but I think we need to do it because we were doing it before COVID. So those are our next steps. Any questions for me or Allie? Okay, well, we're very, very grateful for the grant.